Okay, so I'd like to just make this look decent before we finish up, and just kind of go through those steps a little bit with you. This week you're doing a poetry as form site, so there's going to be some more tutorials that kind of deal with that specifically. We're also going to use Google Fonts for the first time, but I just want to stick with maybe some of our default fonts, or not default, but the kind of the standard ones. I don't want to get into anything too tricky with that here, and just play with spacing a little bit more and address some of the spacing issues on this practice. Okay, so let's go back to Dreamweaver. And actually on the container, because I don't like how this is butted up against that, I'm going to add a little, because I'm sticking with the color choices here. I'm going to add some padding. So that should kind of push things away from the inside a little bit. Let's say, I don't know, about like 50 pixels. Let's see how that looks. A little aggressive, but okay, I'll stick with that. Maybe a little much, but let's keep going. And then on the main, because I don't like how these two things touch, I kind of want to keep them as separate regions for right now. I'm going to add in a margin on the top and bottom to kind of give me a little bit, not a lot, just like a little bit. Top, let's say 15 pixels. Okay, I'm cool with that. And let's say margin bottom. Yeah, we'll keep it the same. 15 pixels. So I should see that separated right now. Yes, much better. Okay. And now for the colors, let's make them real faint, because I got this cool image bag there, and we're going to use the alpha channel in the RGB. Truth be told, I don't really love this brown, but I'm just going to go with it. And I think we can make it look okay. So you see there, it just totally disappears. So let's make that gray kind of real faint. Let's say maybe 40. Not bad. I think you could go more. How about 30? That's cool. I'll stick with that. And then let's lower the color in the other one, but not as much because there's text here. So what we want to do in this kind of method is stay away from issues of legibility. See, I have it at 0 right now, and you can see still got the light gray, but it's kind of like, hey, bud, that's hard to read. So let's try 50. Not bad. I think we got to go a little bit more because it's still funky. 70. 70 is kind of getting us there. I'm going to go 80 though. Even though I don't want to do 80, I'm going to do 80. That's better. And we'll do the same for the header and the footer. 80 and the footer is the same. Okay, so they're all kind of the same. All right, so also with the footer, just to kind of take care of that wacky left aligned guy, let's do text align, and let's say center. Now, because it's one thing across, that's okay. You'd never want to center your paragraphs, but yeah, that looks fine. And I'm not digging that either. Let's make the footer a little smaller too. Kind of getting too into this, but I'll just go with it. 800 pixels. And so my header will be bigger, and then everything else is kind of 800 pixels across. But that's different because you got some padding in there, so it's got a little flex to it. It's not a true 800. The padding does add on. Margin left, auto, margin right, auto. And that should be centered with that. Yes, perfect. Okay, that looks better. All right, so now we really just have some text issues to deal with. I never styled the navigation, but we never really made it a navigation. So you would want that to be done. We'll do that in the, no, we're not. Okay, we'll just go with that. You would style that as normal. Okay, so actually for the rest, let's kind of use our design panel and let's see if we can kind of make some specific choices now. CSS designer. And where are my selectors? Click in body. They should all show up. Should have more than that. Let me click over here. There it goes. I had to click in the CSS. So let's do this. Main. Let's pick some fonts. Now I could just do like an H1, which I should. Let me add an H1 over here. Because even though we have the main, like I could get them all in that, but let's have the H1 stand out a little bit more because it is the H1, and we do want to be a little bit bolder. I'm going to write H1, and I'll do my brackets, and then actually I'll come back here to my CSS designer panel. There we go. H1, font family, that's the color, font family, here we go. And let's go with, all right, fine. Let's do a fun font. Manage fonts. And let's pick something kind of groovy. You can get away with that for your H1. But something not hideous. That's the trick. Script, what's this? Slab. We could go with a slab. Serif. These are sans. Monospace, handmade, decorative. Ooh, maybe a decorative. Oh, why not? We'll do a decorative. Okay. And you're kind of thinking like, what would, deforestation? I don't know. All these are pretty ugly. Let's just go with a slab. Something big, kind of bold. I'm not going to be happy with any of these, but let's just say Arvo. Okay, so hit done. Now if I go back, Arvo should be there. Boom. How's that look? Hey, that's not so bad. Okay, cool. Let's, yeah, all right, let's make it black. And font size, let's make it bigger. Always want that first one to be huge. Points, and let's move this over and let's see. $35 points. There we go. Okay, that's cool. Now for the rest in the main, I can click on the main now and I'll pick a font family and I'm just going to match it up with like a sans serif font. It's not going to be that tricky. Okay, so those go to sans serif. Oh, I meant to do the header. Sorry. Header. Font family. I think I said that before. All right, how's that look? Not, oh, it's okay. Not too bad. And then in the main, footer, pick that again. And then what else? We're not doing anything too crazy right now. We're just kind of going through. Should give the paragraphs a little bit of style. Let's add a P over here. We'll do that right below the main. And click back here, P. And text. We'll leave it at that. We'll do text line though. See how they look justified. Sometimes they look decent with that left align, but they looked and then let's give it a little line height too. It's set to normal. Let's go for points, and let's just make it a little bit spaced out, a little bit more than normal, because it's kind of a lot of text. How's 20? 20 is probably too much. 20 is okay, actually. Okay, so let's preview this. We just did a ton of changes, and not too bad. Chrome. Okay, it's not horrible. That's looking okay. Let's do one more thing to like maybe soften these edges a little because it's like all square. Let me show you one more thing. Dreamweaver, and let's pick our main. And you can go to, I think it's on the borders. Yeah, you can do a little border radius, which can be fun. So this will kind of curve the edges a little bit. Sometimes that looks better. So I'm just sliding this up to 4. You can't really see it. I just hit the little link here, so now they're all linked. Let's do like 30 all around. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And let's see what it did in the code. Border radius, 30 pixels. That's easy enough. So let's add that to all the rest. So the header and the footer will have that. And we'll leave the container square, I guess. Oops, Dreamweaver. Okay, that's not horrible. I'd still keep messing with it, but it's not bad, okay? It's way farther than we were last week, okay? That's like starting to kind of like look like something, all right? You might actually see on the web. So we're getting there, okay? And a lot of that, like last little bit, like things that really changed it, but still, spacing's okay here. Might play with the spacing a little bit here. Might try to underline that. Yeah, but that's not bad, okay? So a lot of that came from just in the last few minutes, just going quick through our designer panel, which seems to have disappeared. Where did you go? CSS. Okay, a lot of that was just in here and going through the things that we're familiar with. Okay, but a lot of this today we're going to do just from here. We didn't even use the properties page. Okay, so don't forget about that. That's easy to do your navigation with. You do your links, but a lot of this we kind of did on our own. Okay, so making some big strides this week. Okay,